Morning students, how are you all? Hope you are fine with the grace of the Almighty God. So students, as you know that we have already completed the explanation of the chapter 3 from the political science, that is social and political life. Our topic of the chapter is roles and functions of a government. So now I'll be showing you the fill in the blanks as the following. State whether the following statement is true and false. Okay, so on your screen now you can see the true and false and question answers here. So now you will be able to see here now. I'm just first I will read the question answers. Okay, let me first read it. Okay, a government is a group of people responsible for managing the affairs of a country. In India, the government functions at the central, state, and local levels. The main function of the government is to make and enforce laws. In a democracy, the people elect their representatives to form the government. Next, you see, in monarchy, okay, a king or queen holds the power to make and enforce laws. Okay, enforce laws. Okay. Next, number 5, if you say that match column A with column B, women's suffrage movement will be number C. That is, I'll take it the marker and I will mark it here. Will be number C here. You can see the students, the right to vote of women. Suffragettes will be number D. Then women who support the women's suffrage movement. Local government will be number D. City, town, and village. Representative democracy will be number B. Universal adult franchise. Then monarchy will be directly, it will go to number A. Not accountable to the people. Okay. Now next, students, you can see the true and false here. Okay. State whether the following statements are true or false. The citizens of a country do not participate in the enforcement of laws. False. The government is responsible for maintaining friendly ties with other nations in the world. True. In the UK, the right to vote was extended to women in the 1920s. False. The right to contest election is known as a universal advice franchise. False. Okay. The women's suffrage movement reached its peak during the First World War. True. On the screen, you can see here is the question answers. Okay. On the screen, you can see here the question answers. Define the government. A government is a group of the people responsible for managing the policies, actions, and the affairs of a country or state. What is universal adult franchise? The right to vote that all the adult citizens of the country hold is called universal adult franchise. Why were women were not allowed to vote earlier? Women were not allowed to vote earlier because in earlier days, women were considered to be inferior to men and capable of only taking care of children at home rather than contributing to the society as full citizens. Next, what are the 3 levels of a government in India? In India, the government functions at the 3 levels, that is national or central, state, and the local. Okay, then what is monarchy? Okay, next we will see what is monarchy. Monarchy is a form of government in which a king or a queen monarch that holds the power to make the decision and enforce them. Then we can see here is the E number. Okay, enumerate the functions of a government. Okay, the functions of a government are to provide the various facilities and the services such as healthcare, education, employment, postal system, banking, and transport to fulfill the requirements of the people. Okay, then to manage and fairly distribute the resources of the country among the people, to provide relief material to the victims of the natural disaster, D number, to enforce the laws and maintain law and order in the country. This is why is missing here. Okay, to safeguard the borders of the country from a foreign attack. Okay, to maintain cordial relation. Cordial here means friendly. Okay, cordial here means the friendly relations of the country with other nations, to promote the exchange of goods, services and ideas. Why is the enforcement of the laws important? How can the citizen of India participate in the enforcements of laws? Okay, the enforcement of the laws is important, as without enforcement, laws would not be of much use. The people of a country also play a vital role in the enforcement of laws. If the citizens of a country feels that the particular law is not being followed, they are entitled to go to the court. For example, the law of the country prohibits discrimination on the basis of caste, class, or gender. Thus, if a person is discriminated on the grounds, they can go to the court to seek justice. Elucidate the role of women's suffrage movement in extending the right to vote to women. Okay, you see this answer is long little bit, students. Okay, let me check it. Now you can see here that, okay, in earlier days women were not considered, where earlier days women were considered to be the inferior to men and capable of only taking care of children at home rather than contributing to the society as full citizens. However, some women challenged to this nation and demanded the right to vote for women in the form of the women's suffrage movement. The women who demanded the right to vote for the women came to be known as suffragettes. The women's suffrage movement reached its height during the First World War. During the war, men were away on the battlefields. As a result, women had to be called to take responsibility for the work which was considered to be the fit just for men. When people found women organizing and managing the work of men well while taking some important decision, they regretted the stereotypes they had created for women. As a result, the women for the rights gained the strength and women were granted their rights to the vote. With the reference to the forms of the government explained in the chapter, explain which type of the government is better and why. Okay, with the reference to the types of the government explained in this chapter, the democracy is the best form of government because in its representatives are elected by the people. They also have the right to change the representatives if they seem incapable of fulfilling their duties. Number 5, we can see here, okay, a government cannot call itself a democracy if does not provide the right to vote to all the citizens of a country. Do you agree? Justify your answer. Yes, I agree this. Okay. This because the word democracy itself means a form of government in which the people have the authority to choose their governing legislation, and if the government does not provide the right to vote to all the citizens of a country, then it cannot call itself a democratic country. Okay, students, this was all about today's question answers, filling the blanks, true and false. You can see here. Okay, you have to write down in your copy and give it for the online checking. I hope that you will write down in your copy. After finishing it, you send the photographs in the form of the PDFs. If you send, that will be a very better. Okay, I hope that you will write the question answers, and if you have doubt or something, you can ask me even. Okay, and also for the revision, you can just okay other chapter, the previous chapter which I have already taught, learn the question answers. In there also, if you have doubt, you can call me. Enough, you're free to contact me. Then chapter 3 is over already. Next class we are going to start with chapter 4. Okay, we will start with the explanation of the chapter. Till then, that take care. Thank you. Bye bye everyone.